What's going on, everybody? Welcome to North Shore 9 podcast presented by FanDuel. We are live. This is NS9 Live, and we are on location at the Cut Golf and Grill in Palmetto, Florida. Tyler, Doug, how are we doing tonight?
Outstanding. This place is terrific. I'm glad we found it. Thank you, Jason Mackey, for the recommendation.
Yeah, shout out Jason Mackey. He found this spot, said that we need to go, we need to be here. Reached out to the owner, got this all figured out. So yeah, if you're coming down for spring training at all, make sure you stop here. Again, it's right across the river from Bradenton. Great food. The food that we got earlier was outstanding. And yeah, great staff. Just a good place to hang out. We got TVs everywhere.
But also, Donato, you look a lot prettier in person.
We
Yo.
we hit the upgrade button on Donardo. We got Dougie fresh.
It's going to get better, too, because I'm going to step out and we're going to bring in the real talent.
The real talent's already here.
As Smitty says here, nice to actually see the talent of NS9 on display, right? Yeah, but like I said, we're here. We were in Venice, Florida earlier today. Pirates, Braves. Paul Skeens made his first start of spring, 2 1/3 innings, 4 strikeouts, 4 walks, little wild. ABS didn't really do him any help. We'll talk about the ABS here in a little bit, but also had a little bit of a scare with Konnor Griffin, hit by pitch. Got pulled from the game, but everything there should be a-okay. Yeah, we've been here now for we got here on Saturday.
Yep.
So Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. This is our 4th day here. Doug, your first spring training, right?
Yes, sir.
Second
I was
spring
here last
training.
year. Yeah.
Second spring training. What have your impressions been of spring so far?
You know, it's fun. To be quite frank, I'm already tired of it. I want the questions answered. I want to know who's going to play. I want to know if Konnor Griffin is going to start at shortstop. I want to know. Every day the questions just are sort of the same, and the routine is sort of the same, and I want answers.
Well, we're going to ask some questions tonight, so hopefully we'll get some answers. We've got a few beat reporters in the house, so we'll have them on later in the show, and we'll get some questions asked. But before we do, we have a question to ask. We've got a stupid question to ask a random person. So before we kick things off,
I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
it's time for today's Ask Somebody a Really Stupid Random Question. So I've got the wheel up here. We're gonna go ahead and spin this thing and see what we get.
I hope it's not one of the people sitting with us.
It is not actually. So we've got to wait. It's U.S. Congressman Christopher DeLuzio representing Pennsylvania's 16th district, I think, 17th district. Yeah, I don't know if they're if Congress is in session, if they're on the floor, but yeah, we're gonna have to ask a U.S. Congressman.
He has bigger
question.
fish to fry than our stupid question.
How about that?
I hope anyway.
So
It's a great question now.
While I'm doing this, I'll shoot him a message. Tyler, go ahead and take us over for a second.
Yeah, just to add on to Doug's first thing about the spring training, been very enjoyable, but our stupid question here is going to be, give me 1 second, I gotta find it as well. The question is, what winter Olympic sport would you be best at and why?
What Winter Olympic sport would you be best at and why? So I just shot the text out. Let's see if Congressman DeLuzio gets back to us. So
mine would be luge.
Luge.
Ski jump. Gravity's going to do me some favors. I'm just going to let it rip and see what happens.
I'm going to go ahead and say slalom.
I don't even know what that is.
I think my knees might actually fall apart if I did that. No, so I'm going to take just the easiest. I'm going to take the easiest answer, and I'm going to go with curling. I feel like it's a difficult sport, but I think if I dedicated myself to curling for a while, I could at least compete at some sort of level. No.
But I
it
feel like if
sweeping,
I'm just
right? It involves sweeping.
There we go.
I could sweep.
But I
I've been
feel like
cleaning up
Doug,
after these guys all week.
Doug,
so.
if I'm sitting in that little sled, we're winning. Like all I gotta do is sit there.
Right. What again? Gravity does the rest.
Well,
Right? That's what I'm saying.
But I gotta land.
point
I
me-
can't land.
Point me down the hill.
I can't land.
That's a good point. That's a good point. All right, so we'll wait on the answer there.
So
but-
that was more stupid answers than a stupid question, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's get right into this. So the title of this show is, Pirate Spring Training Storylines. There's no storyline bigger than Konnor Griffin. I mean, it's just every single report that comes out, every single story that comes out, every time you see him on the field, it's just like the legend of Konnor Griffin continues to get bigger and bigger, and he still hasn't played a major league game, which I think is just growing. It's making everything just compound itself. Where we've seen this guy a couple times now in the spring. We saw him tore up the minors last year, and now he's 19 years old. If the Pirates were to start Konnor Griffin at shortstop opening day, the list of players who have the level of experience that he does and the age, that combo, that youth inexperience combo, we're talking about Ken Griffey Jr., Alex Rodriguez, Juan Soto, and Bryce Harper. That's the list.
That's good
it.
company. That's good company.
That's it. So, like I said, we've seen Konnor. We saw Konnor today for a little bit. He got hit by a pitch, got taken out of the game, but we've watched all the games. We've kind of seen what he's been doing. But Tyler, start off with you. I mean, I guess going into camp, what odds what would you have said the odds of Konnor Griffin actually being the opening day starting shortstop would have been?
Odds wise, I would have probably put it like him making it 30 and not making it 70. I thought the odds were stacked against him, and like they should be. He's 19. He's a guy that really has very limited minor league experience. But you see the guy. You see him in a baseball. And not just that, you see the timeline of the Pittsburgh Pirates. You see what everybody's saying about this guy. If he can make it, if he makes them force their hand, I don't see any reason not to. Because again, if it fails, you can just send him back down. It's fine. It's not the end of the world if he goes back down. We've seen so many guys do this. Take a chance now. Like Ben Sherrington might be in his last year here.
So let's kind of tweak that question. So 30-70 is what you would have said at the beginning. What are we now? Like right now?
Right now, I'm probably more 50-50. I am 50-50.
Okay. Doug, same question to you. Odds, like the odds that you would have put at the start of camp.
At the start of camp, I mean, again, it just makes sense for him to go to AAA, right? It just makes sense. He's played 12 games above the high A level. But it's not just us. This isn't Pittsburgh Twitter accounts. This isn't Pittsburgh podcast accounts. This isn't local media. This is national media. This is everybody who sees him is saying, yes, he should play. I mean, I thought, I said all the time, if he makes it great, that's fine, but it seemed unlikely. And I thought, like the best case scenario for me was that he goes to Indianapolis for a month, wins International League Player of the Month, and then comes up. That's great. But I'm telling you, you just watch him standing there, and he looks better than anybody else. I mean, he there's a presence about him. The natural talent is just apparent. He's got a great support group. He's got a great mentality. His teammates seem to believe in his talent. Look, there might be a lockout next year. And we didn't get great production out of shortstop last year. Haven't in several years. Worst case scenario, it seems like he'll be an average shortstop. And as Tyler said, if he struggles, send him down. All sorts of people have sent. Roy Halladay was sent down after coming up. All
Mike
sorts
Trout
of
was sent down.
Mike Trout, great players, Hall of Fame players, first ballot Hall of Fame players have been sent down to the minors and then come back and went on to forge out great careers. There's no reason now. Play him. Why not? Let's see what we have. Nobody looks better than him yet.
Yeah. So again, odds. Like, what are your odds right now that he's a starting shortstop?
I'm guessing I'm going to go ahead and flip Tyler's and say 70-30. I think there's a 70% chance I mean, he's forcing their hand.
I mean, he's the best shortstop in this organization right now.
Right.
I think that's like without a doubt,
Right.
he's the best shortstop in the organization. It was the FanGraphs article, the one that I got all crazy about. I think the write-up said that, like you said, Doug, like you can just look at him and tell he's the best player on the team. I think the line there was like, when he gets off the bus, you know he's the best player.
Yeah.
And like that's the case. Like when you see him, you're like, oh, that guy. I don't know who he is, but he's the best player on this team.
Right.
He's just got that presence about him, and he's been showing it. I mean, yesterday the 2 home runs. The first home run, obviously super impressive, off of Ranger Suarez, the all-star. But then the second home run, to do it again against another major league pitcher, it was a mistake pitch. Like, let's not, it was a mistake, but he crushed that mistake. I think it was Chris Muller from 93.7. Like he committed unspeakable crimes against that baseball. 440 feet, 111 off the bat, just a monster shot. To answer my question, I think at the beginning of camp, I would have put him at almost 0% shot, like 10% chance of making this team. And then that crept up and it crept up and it crept up. And then I was like, maybe like 60-40, like 60-40. But I think it's going to be a hard decision. And Colin from the Post-Gazette, we had him on a little bit ago, and he said, like, the way that Konnor Griffin can make this team is to leave no doubt in anyone's minds that he should be the starting shortstop on opening day. And I think so far we're through what, six Grapefruit League games.
Right.
I think right now he's clearly the best. I don't know if you could say he's left no doubt yet, because it's only been 6 games and he's only played in 3.5 of them.
But in those 3 games, Jim, he's hit the baseball over 100 miles an hour 4 times at least.
I know how much Doug loves exit velocity. That was another stat too. I think he's put the ball in play 9 times. He's hit the ball over 104 miles per hour in 5 of those 9 played the 9 times. So
it's only been
he's
2
hitting
hits,
the ball,
which those hits are home runs and impressive home runs.
He's hitting the ball harder than anybody else. He's hitting the ball farther than anybody else. He did have an error in the field yesterday, so there was that. And it's like, it seems like he's healthy after the little scare today. I'm still gonna say we're like 60-40, but I'm gonna say 60% chance he is, because I expect him to show that he is the best, and I think by the end of the spring he's gonna leave no doubt that he's the best choice.
Yeah, I buy into that. I mean, I think at the end of spring, regardless of whether they send him down or not, we're going to know that he's, the best shortstop for sure on this team, but probably the best player. Again, there's all sorts of reasons to send him down. So I'm not going to get too hung up on that if it happens. I don't think it will be anything to do with manipulating service time. I'm hoping they're working on an extension. But, again, it makes sense to get him a few at-bats, at AAA. I couldn't argue with that. I couldn't give you a strong argument against it. But I don't think he's going to be there long. If he doesn't make it on open today, I think we're going to see him, no later than early May, maybe on the Paul Skeens timeline sort of thing. And it's a big decision. It's important, and they've got to put a lot of thought into it. They have factors and reasonings that we don't know, and they won't tell us. But it's going to be hard. It will be hard to leave him behind and head to Pittsburgh.
Yeah, and I'm not making this assumption based off of just this one game that we've seen him. Like this, there's an entire minor league season here. There's spring, there's camp, there's practice. I think it's pretty clear right now. He is the best shortstop in the organization, but again, he needs to make the decision almost easy for the Pirates to be like, okay,
again, he's
the
leave
guy.
no doubt.
Yeah. Right.
That's a good way of putting it. And I think it was his mother tweeted that out after his second homer yesterday. He said, leave no doubt. So that quote must have gotten back to Mrs. Griffin somehow.
Yeah, I mean, plain and simple, the guy is probably the best shortstop in this organization right now. We all know that. At the same time, it's what's best for Konnor Griffin and best for the organization. So if they were to keep him down, I wouldn't be that upset about it. unless he's just raking a baseball in spring.
That's the thing. I haven't really made up my mind on if I'm going to be upset about it or not.
I am on the same page as Connor
Yeah.
Griffin's mom. He's got to leave, no doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if he's hitting 350 with 8 home runs, I think I'll be a little disappointed if he doesn't.
Right.
If he doesn't get caught up, I'll understand it. I'll try to rationalize it, but I imagine I'll whine. Like
Doug, the other thing is that
baby.
there's nobody else in this organization that is pushing him.
Right. This spot. I mean,
It's Nick Gonzalez.
Yeah.
I love Nicky G.
Yeah, at this point, Connor Griffin isn't competing against Nick Gonzalez.
No.
I don't think. I think Connor Griffin is competing against himself
Yes.
to essentially show, like, I am ready for this right now.
Right.
Nothing anybody else does matters.
Right.
The only thing that matters is what Connor Griffin does.
Like-
Nicky G could hit 1,000 with 5 home runs, and he'd make the team, but he's not going to beat out Connor Griffin if they think
Even
Connor
going back
Griffin's
to
ready.
O'Neal Cruz rookie year,
Right.
Kevin Newman was a capable shortstop. Nick Gonzalez is not.
Right.
He is not. He is not
there's-
a guy that you're going to put there every day for the next 2 years.
Okay, well, I mean, that's not. I could think that when you say capable shortstop, like Nick Gonzalez is absolutely capable of holding the position
I
down.
don't know that
for a
he
while.
is. I don't know that he is. If they want to be competitive, Nick Gonzalez is not their shortstop.
But what is he then?
A bench player
I think, like I said, as of right now,
or a second
in
baseman.
my opinion, if you want to put the best team on the field, Connor Griffin is the shortstop.
Everybody wants to see this beautiful
I'm
face.
covering my face for the audience as a service to the audience.
All right. Let's shift gears a little bit.
Yeah.
So we're done glazing Connor Griffin.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty incredible what he's done so far. There's still a lot of spring to go for him to prove us right or wrong. And I think, like I said, hopefully by the end of spring, it's an easy decision,
Right.
Whether to or not to bring him north. But another guy I want to talk about, and someone who we didn't necessarily overlook him, I think, but we weren't expecting to see a big impact from him this season, is Sisson Garcia. Out of everyone other, not named Connor Griffin, I feel like he's caught my eye, more than anybody. Just doing a lot of the little things right, like making an outfield assist, running the bases. He got a stolen base. Even creating a little bit of havoc on the base paths. He forced a bad throw and scored on an error. He's been hitting the ball. He's been hitting the ball hard. Been getting on base. So I really like what I've seen out of Sisson Garcia so far, and he's moving up on my list. I wasn't like super high on him when the Pirates traded for him. I thought it was still a good baseball move. I like the talent. I just didn't know how close he was to the majors. But like, I'll say this: like, he looks really good.
Yeah, I'm conflicted on him because I'm still at the point where I think Johan Oviedo would be a better piece for this team right now, because I think they would be better off with him in this organization. On the flip side of that, Garcia has made it. He has done everything that I wanted him to do at this point. I wanted to see good plate discipline. I think we've seen that. Want to see him hit the ball hard. We've definitely seen that. He's played some pretty good left field. I'm not a full-on believer. We got a response.
We got a response. So we got a stupid response from U.S. Congressman Chris Deluzio. What Winter Olympic sport would you be best at and why? He says curling, because we all see those guys and think we too could be an Olympian.
Yep.
So I think, yeah,
Yep.
I like that one. I like
Good
that.
answer.
Good
Thank
answer.
you. Thank you.
Shout out.
Very good answer.
Shout out to the congressman for that.
Outstanding.
Good stuff. Finish your thought.
No, but Garcia, I think he's done everything that I wanted to see out of him to this point.
Yeah, he was the first acquisition, and I was sort of concerned that he was going to be the big acquisition, and I wasn't sure. He's AAA. He was the number 95 prospect, I think. Strikeout issues, that sort of thing. And then we went and acquired Lau, O'Hearn, and Ozuna, and I thought, okay, he's a AAA, right? And for a lot of reasons, not just because he's not good enough. You just want him to play every day. You don't want him to come up here and be Alexander Canario and forget that he's on the roster and suddenly he makes a start on a Sunday afternoon or something. But he has looked good. We've seen him up close a couple of times. Again, the plate discipline seemed good, which is something I think has been a bit of a bugaboo for him. And a nice throw, a couple nice catches in the outfield. And I'm telling you, till you're standing there on the observation deck at Bradenton, if you can make good catches out in that wind, you're doing something right. We saw O'Neal Cruz struggle with one today. So yeah, I've been really impressed. He's sort of forcing the issue, showing you he can play. He's showing you he's got a well-rounded game and showing that he can help in a lot of ways. And a guy that could force some at bats because he can give you, he can help you win in all facets of the game.
Yeah, he's just, like I said, it's only a couple of games in spring, and it's hard for someone to really like stand out at this point. But he's been a guy who he was kind of off. I mean, not off my radar, but I didn't come to spring being like, oh, I really want to see what this kid looks like. And he caught my eye. Like he stood out for me. So.
Yeah, I mean, right. I just didn't think there was going to be a place for him. I thought the roster, the roster makeup was going to hurt him. And I mean, again, he's still battling. He still has that challenge, but he sure hasn't gotten into his head. He's playing hard. He's playing well, and he's forcing his way into the conversation. And we mentioned this earlier on, I think, on Bucko Brew. He's this far away, really, from an injury, from getting consistent playing time, and I feel much better about that now than I did, just 4 or 5 days ago.
He's definitely made you feel better about depth.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
I agree. I feel like from a pitching standpoint, we just haven't seen anybody enough to really draw any sort of conclusions. That didn't necessarily stop Kurt Schilling from coming to a conclusion about Bubba Chandler. Apparently, I'm in a Twitter feud now with Kurt Schilling. We won't get into that too much right now, but
you win, Jim. You win.
Yeah, apparently Kurt Schilling doesn't like my takes. Doesn't think I know ball.
Kurt Schilling can go pound salt.
Kurt Schilling. You know what? Say what you want about Kurt Schilling. He was a great pitcher. I'm not going to say anything bad about his pitching. Yeah, I think he's wrong on this one.
No, I think he can go pound salt.
And you know what? It's probably safe to say Bubba Chandler's not going to be a Hall of Famer. Most people aren't.
That's right.
Like, so that's a pretty safe assumption. Sure. I just don't think you can make that assumption after.
Well, neither is Kurt Schilling.
An inning.
Here we are.
That's true. Good point.
He makes that after 2 innings.
Yeah.
Right? He made that bold declaration.
I want my Hall of Famers to talk about Hall of Famers.
Yeah. But right. I mean, it's so silly. I mean, again, I've said this all last year. I said this year, like, it's almost silly to have any kind of discussion about anything in spring at this time. Nothing that's happened really matters. I mean, I feel that way through the first month of the season. We get there and do our post games and start making declarations and projections and predictions, and it's like we're a week into the season, right? We're not even, we're a full week now, I guess, into spring training, and Kurt Schilling is ready to declare whether Bubba Chandler is a Hall of Famer or not. He's pitched 1 2/3 innings. He is an all-out guy in that he went all out. Well, of course he is. He's amped up. He's pumped. He's brash. He's cocky. He's confident. I think he'll learn some lessons on the way. I think he'll learn when to dial it back a little. I have faith in him. I'm not ready to put him in the Hall of Fame yet, but I'm ready to put him in this rotation and be excited about him. So, Kurt Schilling, go wash your sock.
The only thing I'll say is Bubba needs to throw more strikes, and I think Bubba knows that.
Yeah.
So, there we go.
Every pitcher in baseball needs to do
well,
that. Right.
Hey, just to be
clear,
clear,
Hall of Famers and non-Hall of Famers.
Just to be clear, if we can criticize Bubba all we want here, and we will, and we'll talk about things he does wrong, he's ours. Stay away, Kurt. Like, you're not one of us.
Yeah.
Get the hell out of here. I don't like him. You don't like him? Nobody likes him. Nobody likes him. Go away.
I'm not going to say anything.
Oh, I will. I will.
Jim
Screw Kurt
Rosati
Schilling.
taking the high road.
I'm taking the high road.
I will not.
I swear, I'm drinking water. I'm
Kurt,
not
go-
drunk, but Jim
You know
Rosati
what?
is taking the high road.
Kurt, go bite the curb.
Anyways,
It's about to get better for you, fellas.
yeah, we're gonna have our first guest hop on here. So again, we are on location here at the Cut,
Smarter,
Golf and
more
Grill
talented, and better
in
looking.
Palmetto,
And
Florida.
taller, too.
So
One of the three.
I'm just glad I got to sit down and not stand up next to you.
so joining
Awkwardly
us,
tall. That's my
So-
name.
So joining us from the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, Jason Mackey. Jason, this was you discovered this place, right?
I mean, it wasn't a huge discovery, Jim. We're living a block away. It's actually embarrassing.
Well,
that
it
we
took
didn't
you a
get here.
while.
It did. But yeah, we've been here a lot. We feel like relievers at this point. Matt Freed, our photographer, and I have been here 3 in the past 4 nights. We're going to be down tomorrow. We can't come here again back-to-back nights. But it's an awesome spot, man. It really is. It was on my list to check out. Like coming down here, I looked at where our Airbnb was, and I saw that this was close. But the food's awesome. The owners are great. The owner, I should say, Cody. You
Yeah.
probably already talked to him, but
Met the owner.
Yeah.
Great guy. I had you recommended the closer. Which,
Yes.
with brisket. And when I got this thing, Mackie, the sandwich was this tall. I was like,
And-
how am I going to eat this?
buddy, and the mac and cheese.
And the mac and cheese, loaded mac
Man.
and cheese.
Yeah.
That was
Loaded
good.
mac and cheese with candied jalapenos and bacon.
It was good stuff.
So our first night here, we were sitting at the bar, Freed and I, and there were 2 old guys next to us who were here every day, and they're like, "This is what we get. You have to get the loaded mac and cheese." And they're explaining it to us like, "All right, yeah, I'll take what he's having." It's exactly what we did. So anyway.
I want to talk to you about Marcell Ozuna and
Ooh.
O'Neal Cruz.
Okay.
You wrote a story on, I guess it was Sunday is when it came out, right?
Yep. Sunday.
You wrote a story on Sunday about Marcell Ozuna's impact to not only the Pirates clubhouse, but to O'Neal Cruz specifically. I guess just kind of expand upon that. I know one of the quotes that we had from there was, Ozuna said that Cruz can sometimes get a little bit away from himself when he
A little
doesn't
bit
have-
wild.
a little wild,
Yeah.
a little wild whenever he doesn't trust anyone. And so he's just there to basically be a mentor from him. So I guess just kind of expand upon this relationship that these two are establishing.
Yeah, man, happily. So first of all, I had been tracking Ozuna for a couple days, which is interesting. He's a very popular guy in the clubhouse, talking to a lot of people, but like he sees me and does the veteran move, like when I come back, like he's walking away. I'm like, okay, cool. And so we ended up not connecting at that point because back in the room, and Cruz sees me like walking around and says to Ozuna, like, hey, like you promised this guy it was just funny to me that like O'Neal Cruz is worried about Marcell Ozuna like honoring his word for an interview. But they're just stapled at the hip, man. Anywhere O'Neal goes, Marcell goes. They've struck up a friendship. Like Ozuna is that Carlos Santana guy for Cruz, like that bigger, older brother, whatever you want to call it. I do think the Pirates made a mistake trading Carlos Santana when they did. For whatever reason, O'Neal Cruz needs that like older Latin player to sort of latch onto, and that's what we've seen so far. It's not just O'Neal though, man. Like the corner of their clubhouse, Marcell Ozuna in the middle of it, like Marcell, Cruz, Johan Ramirez, Colin Beasley, my colleague at the Post-Gazette, has written about this with the relievers. Like Soto's involved, Dennis Santana, Andy Rodriguez, Esmeralda Valdez. Like it's just like a circle of all the Latin guys like screaming about stuff and having heated argument. It's awesome. And then like Reynolds will bust in, O'Hearn will bust in, but at the very center of it is Ozuna. So he's been a big factor.
So that's great to hear because I know we knew about the Santana connection, and then when that stopped, I mean it was pretty clear. Like when Santana left last year, it didn't go as well with O'Neal Cruz.
I mean, dude, he's just impressionable. Like he really looks at that type of player, and I think he's just one of those guys that you got to kind of look after.
Yeah.
And like Ozuna took it on as well. Like
Oh, he loves
right off
it.
the bat.
He loves it. He knows why he's here.
Yeah.
He
I'll
knows
say,
why
was
he's
that like part of the pitch to kind of come? You think was like, hey, come here, we'll let you hit. We're gonna pay you $12 million. Oh, and mentor this kid.
So, I mean, I think their pitch to him was pretty easy. It's 1 year. You're going to get all the at-bats you can handle. You want to play 162 and get 4+ at-bats a game? You're going to get him here. And from what I understand, and this was true when they signed him, one of the first notes I got was about like how much they thought his hip injury was an issue. And also in talking to Ozuna, that's something we talked about is how bad his hip was last year. I read the stories too. Like I know that He tried to play through it. But if you look at his metrics, they're weird. Like he didn't swing last year. It's almost like he was trying to avoid swinging and get on base more. But he's said he's feeling different. We've watched him hit batting practice and look incredible. Obviously, that's not automatically going to translate to a game, but like the physical force in his swing is there. So you rely on the rest at that point.
Yeah, he's looked good so far this spring, I think. Especially it was Monday's game where it was a 2-strike count.
Goes the other way with authority.
Like just situational hitting, and it was like, when was the last time we saw that on this team?
Yeah, it's been a minute. It's been a minute. I love the 2-strike. Hey, and another thing you have to tell O'Neill too, like, dude, it's 2 strikes. Don't swing out of your shoes.
How about
put the ball in play?
How about O'Neill Cruz versus lefties so far?
I know.
Another hit
What,
today.
3 out of 4?
Yeah.
Against lefties?
Yeah.
He overran a ball by 10 feet today.
We're not going to talk about that yet.
No, that doesn't happen.
Get to that. We'll get to that. Let's talk about the good stuff first. Good stuff first.
Yeah, sure.
I'm not shoving that aside, by the way. It's legit.
I know.
I
like, my God.
We were sitting around a bunch of Braves fans today, and they were just like, you need to DH this guy. And I was like, you can't right now. Like, he's too athletic, he's too fast, he's too strong. Like, you got to find a spot for him, but he needs to find a spot to actually play.
They want to DH Cruz?
That's what the Braves fans were saying.
What are you going to do with Ozuna?
Exactly.
What do you do with the entire roster?
How many DHs do we need? Yeah.
Another 5 DHs.
You're not going to DH Cruz, man.
No.
He's also your fastest guy with the strongest arm.
He's just going to have to be better.
You don't DH him.
But the problem, and I don't want to make this the O'Neill Cruz argument here, is that he's got to figure this out, and he's got to figure it out right now.
Yes.
Like, there's no choice. He's got to do it right now.
Yep. You don't stick with him. If this year's a flop, if he has a sub 700 OPS and he stinks in the field, bye. Yeah. I'm not standing by it. Like, you need more production from that from center field.
That I agree with. Like,
but I will give him every opportunity this year to show me.
You have to give him this year.
Please.
You have to.
I'd play him against lefties. I'd play him against righties. I mean, it's actually one reason why I hate their roster. Not hate, but I don't understand the roster construction where you have, like, O'Hearn's going to play a lot, Reynolds going to play a lot, Cruz going to play a lot. Where's Jake Mangum going to go? Dude almost hit 300
spot whenever he misreads 5 balls.
No, but you got to stand by him, man. You're going to lose him if you bench him after.
But at some point, you have to bench this guy.
Why? You're just telling me you got to stand
I am
by
getting
O'Neill
way
Cruz,
too
now
ahead of
you're benching him?
I'm getting way too ahead of myself.
I think
here.
Tyler's saying you've got to bench him if he does.
I'm getting
what he
way
does
too ahead of
last
myself
year.
there.
If he does, if he
yes.
makes
To a
the
degree,
lapses that he made last year.
I mean, physical stuff. I'll live with a little bit of it. Like
Yeah,
today,
you can live with
today
a
was a
little bit.
physical mistake.
You can live with a little bit.
It
But
was a physical mistake.
the
It was
mental
not
stuff,
okay. But
we're
today was not that. He misread a fly ball.
that's mental.
He was no.
Read a
No,
to me-
mental
I don't
stuff
think
is
today-
loafing.
Yeah,
man.
I don't
mental
think-
stuff
well,
is
to
being
me,
out
it's
to
that
lunch.
I wasn't. To me, I felt like he just wasn't locked in at that moment. Didn't read the ball well enough off the bat.
Bro,
and
the
just
sun.
ran.
He wasn't the
Yeah.
only outfielder to just completely misplay a ball. That's the other thing with spring training too. It's so hard because like the
That's
outfield
fair.
here are so tough. Like you see balls that should be routine fly balls get dropped all the time.
That's fair.
We have
And
a
I will
trade
say,
Cruz for a third baseman. Is that real?
here.
No.
Now,
We're not
here's
gonna
what I'll
trade
say.
Cruz.
I think it was yesterday. There was a fly ball, and it was a windy as hell day, and he tracked one down the right field. Great play he made. There's just too many lapses in there, and if one or two of those happens, I'm getting a little bit fed up with it.
I don't blame you, but I think you need to give him runway this season to show that he can do it more than spring training.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, you committed $3.5 million to him. Not
For
that
sure.
that's an exorbitant amount, but like you're paying him. Play him.
Yep.
And if we're here 100 games into the season, he's terrible. I agree with that. I'm not defending him, but I'd at least like to see him show me the progress. If anything, like I'm almost sort of happy that he made the mistake because now you can talk to him.
I guess
Hold him accountable for it. Don't let it happen again. Make the mistake now. Let's make the correction
And
now.
I get that, but I think I'm at the point where we've made so many excuses for this guy.
But that's not how they're treating him now.
But now
know.
we're in so many years of this where
I know, but it
We're-
was not parented appropriately. It wasn't.
it's hard to put the toothpaste back in the tube.
I understand that. But I'm just saying, like, the way Tony Beasley interacts with him, the way Ozuna interacts with him, the way Don Kelly handles him, like it was not the way they handled things with Shelton. And I mean, Shelton let that get out of control. He did not. I used the term parenting, and I'm like half joking.
Yeah.
Like it really was a situation where
Right.
you should have shown him some tough love and sat him down and say, this is not okay. Lack of effort, lack of focus is not okay.
Yep.
And they never handled that appropriately.
And I think
so now I'm almost looking at this season differently because they're treating him differently.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think they have really focused on that.
Yeah, I'm not going to rush any judgments on a spring training game where he missed the ball. Like it happens.
Well-
If he does it 4 or 5 more times this spring, then maybe I'll be concerned. But one time, like he gets a pass.
Yeah.
So, before you hop off here,
Yep.
thanks for jumping on.
Yeah.
Got to ask you about Konnor Griffin.
Yeah.
When we had you on The Point 2 weeks ago,
Yeah.
the question was, should he be the opening day starting shortstop? Your answer was yes.
Yes.
And then we asked,
Will
will
he
he be the opening day starting shortstop? Your answer was no.
Yeah.
Has that shifted at all, in your
No.
opinion?
No.
All
I
right.
feel the same way, man.
Okay.
I mean, we saw what he can do, what he's capable of. I forget how I framed it on the point. But I mean, if the door is cracked even a little bit in terms of sending him to AAA, I feel confident the Pirates are going to try to walk through that door. Like, I don't think they want to rush this kid. He might take that decision out of their hands.
Yeah.
Like what he did yesterday, you don't have a decision to make.
If
This
he
kid's
does it
on your team.
let's say he does that 2 more times.
He's on your team. You can't turn that down.
Right.
You can't turn that down. And they know that. To their credit, they know that. Now, they're exceptionally cautious. And I think it's coming from a good place. Like, it's not even criticizing them. Like, I understand wanting what's best for the kid, and very few people play, make the major league roster at his age. But yeah, I guess to answer your question, Jim, I don't feel any differently. He should be.
Yeah.
I don't think he won't be.
Okay.
I don't think he will be.
All right. Well, hey, thanks for hopping on.
Yeah.
Thanks for turning us on to
Yeah,
The
thank
Cut
you guys for
Golf
coming
and
here. This
Grill.
is like my new favorite place. It's
yeah,
great.
this place is awesome.
Nice.
So, tag out and
Tag
little
out, yeah.
Beasley action.
Yeah, let's see if Colin wants to hop on.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll get 20 years younger here in a
Yeah.
second. Hang on.
Yeah.
We just looked over and Colin was finishing his beer.
He can bring his beer over. Yeah.
If we're making call the bullpen, I want to look for 9 o'clock.
Over here, Colin. Over here. Over here.
He doesn't want to be all the time.
That's rude.
That's Boomer's seat over there.
All right. So that was Jason Mackey. Now we're joined by fellow Post Gazette beat writer Colin Beasley. Colin, how are you doing?
Doing all right. Happy to be here.
I want to ask you about your scrum with Don Kelly the other day. How'd that go?
It was a normal scrum. Nothing interesting happened whatsoever. Like it was it was definitely not an old guy who walked in at the end of the scrum, and definitely I was not at all responsible for the Pirates manager Don Kelly dealing with a 5-minute conversation with an old guy who wouldn't let him leave. Like that didn't happen. Like I'm just making up examples. Like this definitely did not occur.
All right. We won't expand upon that. That was a good answer. It was a good answer. Yeah, the old man
is
yeah,
not
let's
Doug.
just
It
be
was
clear
not
here.
Doug.
The old man was not Doug.
It was
right?
not Doug.
Right. Okay. So let's talk about you wrote an article today. You wrote an article today about some of the Pirates 40-man roster additions and kind of how they found out about that. We all see the stories, the videos of like people who were called up to the majors for the first time, but like being added to a 40-man roster is a really big deal that happens in the middle of the off season in December. No one really knows about it. No one really gets the story about it. So you did a really cool story today about just like where those 6 guys were who did that. And the one thing I guess I like, Esmeralda Valdez, big PlayStation guy, right? Brandon Bidwell didn't answer his phone, right?
Oh, it was Brannigan who didn't answer the phone.
Brannigan didn't answer his phone. Bidwell over in Australia when it happened. Wilbur Dota, but it sounds like everybody.
Bidwell
had, like,
was in Florida, but yes.
Okay, it sounds like everybody kind of had their own.
Did you read this
celebration.
story?
I read the story.
You read the story?
I could have swore.
I watched you read this
I
story.
could have swore it said Brandon Benoit celebrated in Australia.
Okay.
That's funny. Yeah. I feed all of Beasley's stuff into AI. I was like, read this for me.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, like it was a really fun story to put together because you're right. We hear about major league debut stories all the time. It's a classic question in a scrum of how'd you get the call, how'd you get the news, who found out about it. And this is a milestone that it's not as important as a debut. It's not as important as being drafted. But thank you, Bucks on deck. Like it's not quite the same thing, but it is a step closer to the big leagues. It is a step like being added to the 40-man roster is a big deal as part of the offseason. So I wanted to go through the 7 Pirates who got added to the 40-man roster. Obviously couldn't talk
I
to
said 6. Yeah,
I
that
couldn't
was
talk
another
to
problem.
Samaniego, so I
That's-
only talked to 6.
there we go. That's
So-
where the 6 came from.
So you're right there. No critiques on that one. And wanted to know how they found out, how they celebrated, and it was a really interesting thing to find out because it's something where with the major league debut, you don't know when it's going to happen. You don't know when you're going to get the call. There's a lot of variety there. With being added to the 40-man roster and the Rule 5 deadline, it's a set date in November, a set time. These guys generally knew to look at their phones at a certain hour or whether they'd get a call or not. So it was one I really enjoyed putting together.
I would definitely recommend reading it. Unlike myself, apparently.
ChatGPT did a great job. Apparently,
I watched you read this story, but I guess
I was sitting where you were sitting.
he was scrolling through.
And I
I
was
guess
reading.
you just didn't.
I guess I
Get
just
it.
I just glanced at the stuff. You know what? Yeah, I got you a click. I'm good at getting you clicks. There you go. I want to shift to Bubba Chandler. Yesterday, 2 days ago. Bubba Chandler 2 days ago. Inning in the third. Second inning wasn't as great. Apparently, Curt Schilling doesn't think he's a Hall of Famer now. What are your thoughts? Is Curt Schilling correct in this assertion, or am I correct in this?
I refuse to take sides on the Curt Schilling versus Jim Rosati debate.
I already gave my
Tyler
take.
already had backed me strong.
I refuse
backed
to.
me
I
strong.
I backed
refuse to
him
give
real
sides.
strong.
I don't know who has more knowledge, Curt Schilling as a fetus or you right now. Like that's a real debate, something that I'll leave the viewers to decide. But I'm not reading too much into Bubba Chandler having 4 walks. I mean, we saw today Paul Skeens also walked 4.
That's a good point.
And maybe he got a little amped up for the first start of the season. Like maybe it was there. He said that it's something that he'll be able to figure out like overnight. It didn't seem like something he's too worried about. So I'm not too concerned by Bubba Chandler walking 4. Now, obviously, Bubba Chandler needs to have his command. Like that was something that was part of the reason why he was in AAA for so long, is he struggled with his command. So if he's having command issues, that is something that would worry me. However, this is one start. It's February.
Now,
If you're going to walk 4 guys in an inning, do it in February instead of in August or sometime when the games actually matter. So that's how I feel.
But speaking of Bubba there,
Talking like that.
have you seen any difference there between last year's Bubba, where he might have been a little more animated after a start, and this year where he might have learned a little bit, or it seemed like he might have been a little bit more amped up this start. Everything seemed high. The breaking ball was just flailing. Mentally, do you have a sense of where Bubba is at this point?
I was really impressed by his response, and that's something I wrote about on post-gazette.com. Like I wrote about his result, his mindset after it. He didn't overreact to it. He kind of said, yeah, it's February. And he said that the things that he was looking to do, things he was looking to accomplish, he was able to do. He said that there were a couple of things that he wanted to work on. He was able to do that. He said that he wanted to work on the changeup, the curveball, the off-speed pitches. Usually that takes a little bit longer for him to get rolling, and he was able to have command with those. It was actually the fastball that he struggled with. And I was really impressed that he kind of realized that this is spring training. This is the time to make mistakes. This is the time to walk 4 guys in an inning if you're going to. Obviously, you don't want that to happen. But like if you're going to do it, you might as well do it now. So I was impressed by his mentality after that. He's a young guy. So for him to see that and for him to realize that, it shows his mentality and his maturity.
I didn't get a chance to talk to him like you did, but I do remember him coming off the field, and I was kind of curious to see what he was going to be like because it was a rough inning, and he got pulled early, didn't finish the second inning. He came off the field, did his TV hit with Hannah, did that, and then went and he signed autographs for fans for 10 minutes. Like, I mean, every fan who wanted his autograph after that start, he signed an autograph for. So that impressed me because it was like he could have just moped off the mound, and gone into the clubhouse pissed off, and he didn't. It's so to what we were saying. The mentality afterwards, he seems like he's in a good spot.
Yeah, these guys realize that this is the time to make mistakes. Like I mentioned, that's something that you generally have to learn. There's a clear difference between talking to the veterans, the Ryan O'Hearns, the Brandon Laus, about how they view spring training versus the guys who are trying to make the team. And Bubba Chandler's still someone who kind of has to impress. I think that he's got a rotation spot. I'd be shocked if he wasn't. But at the same time, it's something where it matters a little bit more for him than it does for Brandon Laus. So the fact that he's willing to make mistakes and willing to have that mentality is something I'm impressed by.
Let's end this with Konnor Griffin.
Really? What could possibly be to talk about Konnor Griffin?
You were on the point 2 weeks ago. Question was asked to you, should he be the starting shortstop on opening day? You said yes. And then I said, will he be the starting shortstop on opening day? You said yes. No, you said you weren't on the point.
So Jim not only does Jim not read my articles, he doesn't even watch my appearances on his game show. His show. I show up on North Shore 9, or I don't show up on North Shore 9. Jim has no idea. Cut him off.
Okay. Hold on. Let me redeem myself here.
Yeah.
You and Jason wrote an article that I read on postgazette.com that predicted the opening day roster. Jason had Konnor Griffin off of it. You had him on it. You still stand by that?
Look at that. He actually read the article because that is what I said. I was really hoping you'd get that right.
Jim. Got him.
Yes. Yeah, I do. After seeing what he did yesterday, I happened to pick that day to be off, but seeing what he did and seeing how he's performed, it's just like he's passed every test so far. And it's something where I do believe that he has to perform. I do believe that it's something where he's got to impress and has to continue playing well. And it's a lot easier for the Pirates to start him in AAA Indianapolis just because that's what you usually do. Like, that's how you treat a normal prospect. I do believe that he has to prove that he's different, but to this point he has. We saw that against the Red Sox. We see that in BP. We see that in just regular defensive work. He stands out in a good way. That's what I said the last time I was on the show. So I really do believe that he has to continue impressing and has to continue performing the way he did against the Red Sox. But at this point, I'm not putting anything past the kid. He's been that impressive, and I think he can continue it.
That's right. You did say that on the show, didn't you?
I'm going back to the well. Leave no doubt.
Leave no doubt. Yeah. I think that was the quote card that came out of it.
Sure was.
It was. All right. Colin, appreciate you. Sorry for being wrong on like 4 different things during this interview.
It's okay. I forgive you. We're going to get you a water, though.
We'll get a water.
We're going to get you a water.
Man, mix some water in.
You know what? The reason why I was wrong was because this place is so awesome, isn't it?
It is.
Whole place.
It is. I'm a fan of the
Cut Bar and Grill in Palmetto, Florida. If you're coming down for spring training, make sure you come here.
No, like this is legitimately, if you're like me and just a small town fella, and there's a lot of them up there towards Pittsburgh, this is a spot to be in. This really is. Like, you just want to come hang out. Nothing crazy. Like, I don't want a band playing in the background. I don't need, like, there's great tunes going on.
Golf simulator too. I don't know if you've checked out the
simulator.
golf simulator at all.
I have not.
Yeah.
I did not realize that I was going to be sitting here through an ad from Tyler, but we'll take it.
There you go.
We'll take it.
There we go.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you, Colin.
Yep.
Thanks, Colin. Speaking of ads, what kind of odds we got on FanDuel, Tyler?
Okay, I got one for you here. Let me pull it back up because I already forget it, but We had it was Paul Skeen's wins.
I thought it was strikeouts.
No, it was strikeouts. It was 29.5.
This
29.
show, we need to get this show
we
wrapped
do.
up real quick because it's getting off the rails.
So to
So
be very clear,
yeah.
I read Colin's article and I also watched him on The Point.
So FanDuel, we have Paul Skeens at 209.5 strikeouts. It was minus 113. 209 strikeouts. Where are we at on that, Doug? Like with the way that pitchers pitch now and the amount of innings they pitch,
I mean, that's the problem. In today's baseball, it's hard for them.
that's a tough
And
line.
honestly, I hope he gets under just because I want less pitches,
Yeah.
more innings than strikeouts.
Well, I mean, I'll take whatever it takes for him to be elite again, but
yeah. I just want 20 victories
209
and
and a
Cy Young.
half.
That's all.
And
Playoff
that was
appearance.
about even money there. Minus 113, I believe it was through FanDuel.
Yeah, I think so.
209 and a half. I mean, that's that.
What did he have last year? How many strikeouts last year? It was under 200, wasn't it?
I don't have the number.
I can look it up for us.
Would you please?
Yeah. Last year, Paul Skeens had 216 strikeouts
Oh,
in
So-
187 innings.
Maybe that's another easy winner.
that should probably be easy over. I was
If he's
completely
healthy,
wrong.
I mean,
Right.
he hits that.
Yeah.
And
And
if the
he's
Pirates are
probably
going-
getting 200
Well, let's be
innings
honest.
this
If
year,
the
right?
Pirates are going to be good, he needs to hit that number.
Yeah, well, he's going to pitch 200 innings.
Yeah.
So
Well, hopefully.
health, right? Hopefully.
Colin coming in clutch with the water. Thank
What
you.
a guy. We got beat writers delivering waters.
All right. Game tomorrow, home game tomorrow. Jose Urquidy on the mound.
Yeah.
Our first look at him. What do you want to see out of Jose Urquidy this spring? Because, I mean, as of right now, they still haven't added another starting pitcher. He is probably the fifth starter as of right now. What are you going to be looking for out of Jose Urquidy?
Effectiveness. In all reality, he is fighting for a spot to me. I think there's enough competition in this rotation where he should not be handed a spot.
No, he should be handed a spot, but we want him to get one. I do. You could use a veteran presence still. And, when he was healthy, he was a very good pitcher for the Astros, pitched in big games, pitched in important situations. I think his experience would be valuable to the rest of this rotation. And I think we're going to need innings. I don't know. I mean, he coming off his injuries, I don't know how many he can give you, but it's an all hands on deck situation. We're not going through this year with the guys that make the first 5 starts as the only pitchers in rotation. We're going to see some other starters. I'd like to see Urquidy get up to, close to 150 innings and be effective.
Yeah, I hope they still bring in another starter.
Yeah.
I'd like to see a lefty, like a veteran lefty, come in here. I wouldn't mind Patrick Corbin or Tyler Anderson, one of those two. I don't want to just kind of hand this. I think if you don't go out there, you almost have to hand the job to Urquidy, and I don't really want to do that. So, make him compete for it against someone who, clearly has that leg up. So bring another lefty. But if you don't, I think you pretty much have to hand it to him because everyone else has options. He doesn't. And I think he could at least get you through, 5 or 6 starts before, you kind of have to make a decision on him. So,
At that point, what's the
yeah. So, I really hope they bring someone else in.
Yeah, absolutely. They say they're still looking. I guess, Ben can often be patient with these type things and wait them out till their price comes down a little. But yeah, I mean, even if we sign one of those guys, again, I think we're going to need Urquidy. I hope he's up to the task. I hope he's effective. I don't want anybody being handed a job in spring training. But yeah, I hope he pitches well enough to earn it. And won't be mad, obviously, if they bring in a Corbin or a Tyler Anderson. It'd be nice to have a little balance in the rotation, too.
I agree with Doug, but I'm also throwing the dart out there that Bailey Falter will be DFA'd and he will be a Pirate again.
Ooh, Pittsburgh Pirate
I'm
Bailey
throwing that
Falter.
dart
You know
back
what?
out there.
You know what?
Bring him back.
You know what? I like it. I like it. I
All right.
like it.
It makes too much sense.
The rest of the guys competing for that 5th spot, haven't looked outstanding. Hunter Barco's probably been the best looking one out of all of them. Thomas Harrington saw him yesterday. I know there was a comment in there about what he looked like. Low 90s fastball, and he wasn't commanding it very well.
If you're gonna pitch like
it didn't look great. Now
you're gonna pitch like Greg Maddux. Pitch like Greg
now
Maddux.
it's February 24th, so maybe the command gets a little better. Maybe the velocity gets a little bit better. But if you're gonna be throwing the ball 91 miles per hour as a right-handed starting pitcher, like you better have impeccable command, and he didn't have it. So that'll be something we need to look at as Harrington progresses through the spring. With that being said, are we out of here?
I believe so.
I think we're good.
Anyways, if you're coming down to spring training, if you're here now or if you're here later this coming month, make sure you check out The Cut.
Legitimately check this place out.
It's really good. The menu is fantastic. The vibe is fantastic. The service is great.
If I lived here, I would be here every day.
There you go. Tyler approved.
I would be here every single day. Music great, food great. Love it.
All right, guys, we're out of here. You've been watching and or listening to the North Shore 9 podcast presented by FanDuel. I'm Jim. We got Tyler. We got Dougie Fresh. We'll be back tomorrow. We're live at Lecom Park starting at noon. Pirates, Twins. It's the return of Derek Shelton tomorrow, guys. The return of Derek Shelton. Pirates, Twins tomorrow. So we'll be live at Lecom at noon. So check that out. And then also we'll have a recap at the end of the day tomorrow to recap everything that we saw throughout the day. So thanks for watching. Like the video, subscribe to the page if you haven't. Leave a comment, leave a review, all that good stuff. Anyways, we're out.
Peace out, Girl Scouts.
All right, that wraps up this episode of North Shore 9. Thanks so much for tuning in. Whether you're listening on the podcast or catching us on YouTube, if you enjoyed the show, please give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. It really helps us grow. And if you're listening on the podcast, a quick review goes a long way in helping others find the show. Plus, be sure to tell a friend about us. There's always room for more here in the NS9 community. And for those looking to support us a little more, consider joining our Patreon, become an MVP member, and get exclusive perks while helping us continue to bring you more of the Pirates content you love. Thanks again for all your support, and let's go Bucks.